Hello and welcome to the OMG Show with your host, Oscar M. Garcia. That's right, that's me. And I just want to say hello and welcome to my first episode, which is cleverly titled Hello World, because this is my baby and it's saying hello to the world. It's saying hello to all of you. And I just want to say thank you so much. I'm super honored and humbled that you've taken the time to at least push play on this podcast to see what it's all about. And I'm hoping that you're going to get some value out of today's episode and tell your friends and at least share with someone who you think is going to be valuable to, because the reason why I started this podcast is I love podcasting. It's something that I incorporate into my morning routines that get my day going. And it's primarily the main reason that, I learn and I'm able to acquire so much information so fast, just because it's so accessible. So I figured, with my marketing background, with me running my own business and running clients' businesses and so on and so forth, I could use podcasting as a platform to share my expertise, share my knowledge, and provide you with more actionable tips and strategies that you can actually implement into your business right away. Now, I know that if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, you really want to figure out how to get more sales, right? And if you get more sales, you ultimately are going to have more freedom. Right? I mean, that's the main reason why I left the corporate world. I knew that I didn't want to be working for someone else. I didn't like the 9-to-5 structure. I didn't like the red tape. I am a problem solver. I am someone who likes to challenge the status quo. That, I don't look for, politicians to solve my answers. I don't look for others to help me figure things out. What I do is I partner with other people to create solutions that can help others at the whole, right? Now, as a direct response marketing expert and entrepreneur, I've worked with many entrepreneurs and business owners that are stuck trying to figure out how to get more sales, right? And they're not building that life of freedom and independence that they truly want. And the main reason for this that I find is, I like to call it, the shiny object syndrome, right? And it's a term that's used frequently, but that's really what it comes down to. You see, your business is your baby, right? And you want to protect, you want to love that baby. Now, when you go online and you start researching things on what you can do for your business, it's hard to figure out which way you should take. People are telling you that this is going to be the next Facebook thing, that you have to be on Instagram, that you should be doing affiliate marketing or referral marketing, that you need to have some crazy scarcity element into your business to drive traffic, that you need SEO. I mean, there's so many different things to get started as far as marketing your business, let alone figuring out how to run your business through taxes and, getting lawyers and all that good stuff that you need, right? But from the marketing aspect, shiny object syndrome is likely the number one killer for many businesses. And the reason why is because there is lack of information. And that lack of information leads to a lot of poor business decisions, which then lead to poor cash flow management. I was looking at a study, and they say that 90% of businesses fail in the first year because of cash flow management, right? We don't understand where our money is going, and we can't figure out if it's coming back. And if it's coming back, we need to know if it's bringing a couple more friends along. And that's what we call ROI. So what ends up happening with the shiny object syndrome is that you have no leads, no sales, you lose momentum, right? Externally, your business is kind of, staying the same. It kind of feels like you're taking 3 steps forward, 2 steps back with your business, and you're not really gaining any traction. What's even worse is that this starts to affect you psychologically, because now you start to feel frustrated. That self-doubt starts to creep in, right? That voice in the back of your head starts telling you that you're doing things wrong, that you might be a failure, that maybe you should go back and quit and, take up that job with your brother-in-law or something, right? But here's the thing. If you are truly providing value, you should 100% be rewarded for providing that value. Okay? And trust me, I know. You see, I wasn't always an entrepreneur. I used to be part of the corporate world. I did the cookie cutter system that everyone does, especially third millennial. Go to school, work hard, get a degree, get a job. Check, 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 check. I got 2 degrees, as a matter of fact. All right, and I got a job in the corporate world, part of the executive development program, where I was being rotated to different business units within the company, and I would figure out, what's going on there and how I could better that, that unit that I was there. And I was there for about 2 years, and ultimately I became a project manager. And, long story short, that wasn't the environment for me to thrive in. I loved the people that I worked with. I had great experiences, but I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I felt like I was being restricted, and I missed working with entrepreneurs one-on-one. I used to do websites while I was in school, and that's kind of how I paid my way. But Long story short, I wanted to be outside. I wanted to work for entrepreneurs. And so, I ended up pulling out my 401k. I gave them a 2 months notice. And luckily, I befriended a professor of mine who had a business idea. And I said, hey, you know what? How about I move in with you? I work on your business and you don't charge me rent. And he said, come on down. So there I did. I moved over to his house, moved into his room, and we started working on his business. And that's really where I started educating myself on what it actually means to be a marketer and to do marketing. You see, I got a degree in marketing, yet I never really knew what a funnel was. I didn't know the ins and outs of actually selling, right? There was a lot of self-education that had to happen in that process. But you know what? It paid off. Sure, I was doing 18-hour days. I was, blowing past my credit card limit. I mean, it was the same thing that most entrepreneurs like you go through, especially when you're just starting out your business. But in 8 months, guess what? We had a 6-figure business. A 6-figure business in 8 months. And now you know what? That client has left his 9-to-5 job and is now engaged and is now traveling the world, doing amazing things with his new time, with his new freedom, with his new independence. Okay? And that's really what I want to provide to you, is that same level of freedom and independence, because your life is worth it. Okay? It's not worth, at least to me, it's not, to be stuck behind a 9-to-5. If you like that, if you enjoy that, more power to you. But more than likely, you're not going to get value out of this podcast. You're not going to get value over what I have to say. However, if you've chosen to, as they say, burn the boats and make the commitment into your business, if you are starting it, if you are currently growing it, if you're trying to figure out how to scale, this podcast is going to be tremendously valuable to you. And the reason why I say that is because I'm all about 4 things. And right now I want to give you 4 steps. Actually, 5 steps. Throw a little bonus step in there that you can do today that will actually take your business in the direction that it needs to go. All right. And number 1, I'm sure you've heard it thousands of times, but for some reason you still haven't done it. And number 1 is you need to take action. I can't tell you how many times or how much time I've wasted by not taking action, by delaying a decision. You see, what ends up happening is that when you delay a decision, it allows for your negative self-talk to come in and start letting you know about all the things that could possibly go wrong. And those are plenty of possibilities, so much so that you become numb, you become, you freeze up. You freeze up in the middle of the game and you don't know how to act, right? So you don't want to get into that rhythm of negative self-talk, of thinking you can't do it, of thinking you can't achieve. Rather, you need to take action. You just need to jump into that cold pool and figure it out. Because you know what? Yeah, sure, that cold pool is scary at first, but once you jump inside, a couple seconds later, you're acclimated. You're good to go. Okay, now this acclimation process in real life, I like to describe in 4 steps. And this is an acronym that I live by. I have no idea where this came from. I should probably trademark it at some point. But it's something that I've been saying over and over and over again for years. And it's 4 letters that I live by. It's learn, adapt, overcome, and progress. You see, the moment you take action, you make a commitment, you're now able to learn and figure out what is actually going on. Not possibility, what is real. Okay? And you can manage what is real because you can figure out how you can control your emotions and how you react to it. So you learn. Once you learn the lay of the land, you can then adapt to it, right? You learn what works, you learn what doesn't work, you learn about the loopholes, you learn about the gray areas, you learn what you can get away with, what you can't get away with. Once you adapt, you then start to figure out how to put the systems and processes in place to overcome, okay? And to be honest with you, I don't believe that we as humans or we as entrepreneurs or we as people are meant to be successful, because if we were, then I feel everyone would be successful. But, this is getting to some other different areas, but I think at a very deep level, we as a people are made to overcome. We thrive on challenges. In fact, I can pretty much guarantee that the happiest times in your life are the moments when you had to overcome some serious hardship, right? Maybe you got a degree and you spent 4 years or 8 years of medical school or whatever that is, right? Maybe you did 10 years in your business before you finally saw a breakthrough, right? The point is that after your hardest challenges, that's when you really feel the happiest. And when you can overcome these challenges, when you can overcome these struggles, that's when you truly start to progress. And this cycle just repeats itself. Learn, adapt, overcome, and progress. Now, I'll be honest with you. It's very simple to become successful in business, but it is not easy. It is very, very hard. If you're looking for an easy button, just close this podcast down, because that's not what I'm going to give you. Okay? I'm going to give you some real facts, some real tips, and real strategies, but it's going to take some work. All right, I hope you can meet me halfway, because if you can, and if you do, you're going to see results. So that's it. I don't want to keep this podcast too long, but to recap, I want you to take action. If there's a decision that's going on with your business right now, whether it's to start your business, whether it's to grow, or to jump on this program, or to do this strategy, take action on it. And once you take action, you'll be able to get out of the state of funk that you're in, where you're not getting the momentum and clarity that you need. All right. Once you take action, learn, adapt, overcome, and progress. So that being said, go ahead and subscribe. And again, if you feel that this was valuable, please share this podcast with at least one other person. All right. It'll do me a huge favor, and I would really appreciate it. Now, again, I want you to have a business that can pull in leads automatically, that can turn those leads into customers, and that ultimately those customers become advocates for you, and that you can create a business of freedom and independence for yourself. Otherwise, it's again that loop where you're taking 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. You're spinning your wheels and you're not getting any traction. I don't want you to be in that boat. Okay? I don't want you to be one of those that struggles with your business. I want you to struggle. I want you to overcome that struggle, but struggle in the right way. So that way you can move forward. That way you can move forward with intention and purpose and create an impact into other people's lives. All right? So that's it for today's episode. Thank you again so much. This is my new baby, my newest expression of knowledge, and I hope it brings you a ton of value. I am planning on doing daily episodes Monday through Friday, with a special segments on Friday called Burning the Boats, where I'm interviewing entrepreneurs, friends, so on and so forth, about when they decided to burn the boats and make the decision to become an entrepreneur, or to scale their business, or to literally just become next level. Burning the boats is something that I'll probably talk about more in tomorrow's podcast. Now, that being said, I'm super excited. Thank you again so much, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye, everyone.